Good afternoon, Architecture 2 students. What you're going to learn in this video is how to use curtain wall systems, in this case curtain windows. These are going to be window type walls, which that is probably the most common curtain wall system to use is the windows. And you see them a lot on pretty much any kind of commercial building. You see them on schools. We have these on our school. Any kind of commercial building, gas station, whatever. Strip malls, definitely. And that's why I'm going to show you how to do these. All right. Now, there's some automatic features that Revit uses to put these in place, which is really cool. But you can also go kind of and do it manually as well. But I'm not going to focus on showing you how to do it manually. But manually, you can really design how the mullions and everything fit in there. But with the automatic feature, it just kind of puts them in there like they are. All right, so let's take a look at both of these, two types of curtain wall systems or curtain window systems that you'll find in strip malls or any kind of other commercial establishment. One is the full curtain wall, just goes, on this one it goes up to 9 foot 6 inches, I believe. I might have to click on that to see. Yes, 9 foot 6 inches. So it goes up to 9 foot 6 inches. It's from that height all the way down to the ground. And then you have this one over here, which also goes up to 9 foot 6 inches, but only comes down to about 2.5 to 3 foot shy of the ground or of that level 1 for just the windows. But then, of course, the section that has the door in, it's going to come all the way to the ground. Of course, you have to have that in order to get in and out of the building, obviously. So I'm going to show you how to use these real quickly, and I'm going to show you how I did both of these systems so that you can learn on your own. Now, some of you probably already know how to do this. You've been working with Revit for a while, especially some of my practicum students. This may just be a reminder for you, or you may not even have to watch it at all. But if you have any questions about how to do either one of these curtain systems, then go ahead and watch all the way through and apply one of the two to your project. And with that said, I wouldn't necessarily put different ones on different units of the project. I would put them all the same so that we have some unity. And of course, you can actually see that there could be some unity even using both styles. I could probably put another full curtain wall over here on this side and then put another of the partial curtain walls over here on this side. And that would sort of create some sort of balance and unity, or I could do all four of them the same, or I can mix and match them however I want to. But whatever you do when you get done, you want it to be, very unifying in some shape, form, or fashion. So either one that you choose to use, either use the same one for all of them or mix and match them. But again, going for that unity effect. All right. So the way I place these is I do it on level 1, the level 1 floor plan. And what I'll do is just to kind of try out this whole idea of unity through disunity. I'm going to put another full height all the way to the ground curtain window system over here on this side. So what I do when I do this is I'm just going into walls. And if you pull down on the type selector, you have these 3 different curtain systems that you can use. By default, they all just have glass in them. And again, like I said, you can put any kind of material or make them out of any kind of material you want to. There's just so many different things you can do with this. But I choose the storefront, okay, because that gives me most of my automatic features. And I forgot to do one thing before I get started on this, is I want to mark my place for placing these windows in this front wall. So I'm going to go to annotate and use the detail line. I'm going to find the center of this wall and just come 2 foot over. And then just kind of draw up to make it a mark that I can see. And I'm going to do the same over here on this side. Just start from the center, go 2 foot, and then go up. And that marks that spot. Now I'm going to go back to that curtain wall right here, and I'm going to put it in right here, right between those 2 marks. And there it is. So with that automatic feature, it places the new window type curtain wall in place and also cuts the wall out for you. Some of the other ways of using this does not automatically cut the wall out for you and what have you, but feel free to experiment with that as you wish. And if you do want to experiment, don't mess up your project. Maybe make a copy of your project and do some experimenting on that copy to see how it's going to work out. Okay. So now what I want to do is go to the south level over here on the elevations and look at it from the front and make the adjustments that I need to make. I want to make it 9 foot 6 inches, so I'm going to select the whole thing. Now, when you select it, you might have to use the tab button to cycle through the different selection modes. As you see here, if I just come over to it and just set my cursor right here, I'm selecting one of the mullions. I hit the tab button once and I get the whole system. Hit the tab button again, I get just the glass in that portion of the wall, and then I hit it again and I get a line, just a line over to the far right, and then of course go back through the cycling again. So we want to select the whole thing, and I'm going to come right over here in the constraints and do 9 foot 6 inches. And then apply. And I really don't have to do anything else. If I wanted to, I could adjust the height of this mullion right here, but as you see, I kind of incorporated that into my design right here, well, except for this one. Now, once you get a certain space in there, it automatically takes out that one horizontal cross mullion toward the top. And that has a lot to do with how big you want the glass that goes in there. You really don't want it to be too big because then it'll be too fragile. But sometimes, you know, like in this case over here, I didn't need that mullion here, and then Revit just automatically took that out for me. Okay. So anyway, just starting right here with, we want to create this door system inside of our curtain wall. Now we've already reduced the height of it, which is great. And I'm going to put the door kind of right in the middle. So I'm going to find a good middle spot. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these mullions. And to remove the mullions, you have to click on it and then click on this little tack right here. It's a pin. And what that does is pins it in place where it can't be moved. If I unpin it, then I can delete it. Okay, and I'm going to delete this one up at top as well. Click on it, unpin it, delete it. Now I also want to get rid of this grid line. Okay, and to do that, I click on the grid line, then it activates this tool. It says add remove segments. So there I'm going to click on that tool and then click on each segment that I want to remove. And then of course it gives you a warning. Don't worry about the warning, just ignore it, and then all of your grids go away. The next thing I did is, you know, I wanted my door space, I wanted it to be around 5 to 6 feet wide. I didn't want it to be the entire width. I mean, that would have been rather large. And the larger, of course, the heavier it is. It's harder to push open. So I want to reduce that size of that door that's going to go in here. First thing I did, let's see, how did I do that? Yeah, I did the horizontal. Okay, yeah. So we'll do the vertical members first. And since I'm in this mode, what's going to happen is I can pretty much automatically place new mullions and grids all at the same time. I'm just moving this out of the way. Okay, so I'm going to go here and I'm going to click on curtain grid, and I'm going to hover over a horizontal mullion to produce a vertical placement line. Okay, and I'm coming over, yeah, I can come over 2 foot. I think on the other one, I don't even remember how far I went over, but let's try 2 feet. So I'm going to do 2 foot here. And then I'm going to come over here and do another measurement of 2 feet. I think that's what it was. All right, there it is, 2 feet. Okay, so that gives me a door, a whole door, just measuring the inside of the door. It's going to be 5 feet and a little bit over 5 feet, and that's perfectly fine. Now, all this stuff is all custom made. Anyway, there's not like, they don't just sell the doors in certain sizes or whatever. Everything's custom made in this type scenario. So there I have that. I also need the height of my door. I don't want my door, this is like, I don't know, 9 feet or something like that. I don't remember. It's, well, 7 feet, 8 1/4. I don't really want my door to be that high. So I'm going to create another grid. And this time I'm going to hover over a vertical so I get a horizontal placement line. And I'm just going to place it at 7 feet. Okay, that's the typical height of a commercial door. And let's see, what else did I do over here? Let's see, yeah. Okay, so what I really should have done when I placed that one, what I just did is I created more work for me to do. So when I created that one, I should have set it a little bit differently. So I'm going to go ahead and redo it. All right, and go back to grid. And this time I'm going to put one segment. Okay, I'm going to click on one segment because I only want it in the door space at 7 feet. Right there. And next thing I want to do is actually put the door. Now, before you put the doors, you have to load it in the project. These doors don't just load automatically. You can't just go in and select a door like you would normally do. You need to go to the Insert tab and do Load Family. And it's in the Doors folder. We're in the Doors folder, and then it's right there in the front of the Doors folder. You don't have to go into Residential, Hardware, Commercial, or any of those other folders. Just go into this one and find the door that you want. There is a single glass. There's a double glass. That's the one I'm using. This is another double glass. One of them has a frame. One of them does not. I think I used the one with the frame. It looks like I did. Yeah, I used the one with the frame. Okay, so you want to select that and load it into your project. Just, select it and then click open and it'll load into your project. Then what you have to do is come over here and hover over next to this mullion and then click the tab button to go through to cycle through the selections. And now I have the glass selected, so that's what I want. So I'm going to click on the glass and then I'm going to unpin the glass. And then I'm going to come over here to where I loaded it in, and I loaded the door. It's in here, right here. Okay, so I'm going to click on that, and now I have the door. Now the little lines, the dotted lines, these hidden lines, actually point to the side that has the hinges. So the hinges are over here on the sides. That's what that basically is an arrow that points to the hinges. And that's good. Of course, I can repin it if I want to, or no, I can't. Okay, let's redo that. I guess when you pin it, it goes back to its default. Okay, there we go. So that is your door. And I don't think there was anything else that I did. All that looks pretty much the same. Of course, I'll probably find out later there's a little difference in the two. All right, so the next move we'll make is to put one of these doors in place. And I'm going to briefly go through that. You don't need me to go through the whole thing because I really just showed you how to do almost all of it here. Only thing you don't know how to do is how to make these smaller or shorter. All right, so what I did in this case, went back to architecture, wall. Oh yeah, I got to go back to level 1 floor plan. And I've got to make those marks, those little placeholder marks, 2 foot, and go up. And then do it again. 2 foot, and then go up. Okay, architecture, wall. Still have the same wall loaded. Drop between here and here. There we go. Now what I want to do is I want to split this in 2 places. And I'm going to put my door right in this area, right in the center. But I do need to split this curtain wall so that I can adjust the size or the height of the sills on these other 2 sides. So I'm just going to use the split tool. All right, and you watch real carefully what I do. If I go right in here, go right in the middle of that mullion, and I click, it splits those it splits apart into 2 different mullions. And do it again right over here. Okay, so now I have different segments of curtain wall. Go back to our south view, and I really should have adjusted this first. Looks like I can still adjust the whole thing. So 9 foot 6 inches for the whole thing. All right, and then now I'm just going to select each individual side like so, and just pull it up. Now you'll have to draw a guideline. I'm going to line it up with this one. So what I need to do, because it won't automatically sense where those are at. So I'm going to go to annotate and get a detail line right here at the bottom of this and draw it all the way across here. Okay, now I'm going to select that again and make it match right up with that. Okay, and I'm going to do the same right over here. Move it up. Oops, I missed right there. Okay, so you see how it automatically took that one cross mullion off the top, and all I have are separate mullions or single panes of glass. What was I saying? Anyway, so here we do have some balance. We got the two full door or full curtain walls here, and then we got the two partial curtain walls in the middle. You could probably do something like a full, partial as well, or you can just do all full or all partial. However you wish to do that, but as long as you create unity such as I've got right here. Now I'll let you go ahead and if you're going to do this, do the door. I've already showed you how to do the door and everything over here. So I don't need to show you how to do that again. So good luck with that. If you have any questions, please let me know.